I know you lying. Boy, they got new cars. They got pickup joints. Hey, gorgeous people, let's get right into it. So, I am so excited because I am preparing for my vacation, which is going to be an international vacation. Y'all, the police is going bananas right now. This is the third set of cars. Like, look at them. They is flying. Lord. I hope everybody's gonna be okay. But the first car was like a little pickup joint. I ain't never seen them, and I'll be looking out for the cops. Anyhow, back to today's video, which is I'm so excited because I'm preparing for my next international vacation. So to start it off right, of course we have to go order some money. So what I mean by that is we have to go get some currency exchange, and of course I'm doing it with Huntington because they were really easy, really simple. It was like a flat rate fee of maybe $8 or so. I think that's how much it was. We'll double check that when I get up here to the bank. Y'all, another set of cop cars is coming. Jesus, take the wheel. He don't hear them cop cars. About to get smacked. Y'all, and all of these cars is like different. I ain't never seen that one either. That one looked like a little undercover joint. Anywho, I'm just excited because of my trip that is coming up. So, like I said, we're headed to Huntington to go get some currency. I am going to three countries, y'all, in one quick little trip. So, we have to get currency for each one of those countries, and all they do is take the money directly out of your account. They also take the flat rate fee out of your account, and then they'll call me in like 2 business days, and I can come pick up my money, and then we will be ready. So that's what I'm about to do now. I did this when I went to Bali, and it was really simple, which is why I'm going back to Huntington, and I don't have to worry about doing it in the airport and all of that stuff. So I just want to be prepared and good to go. So I am really excited for y'all to see this next little series of my international travel because all 3 countries I have never been to, and I am here for all of it. I just left Huntington because they went up on their currency exchange fee. So it was $8. Now it's $15. Like, your girl is not about to pay $15 just to get a couple dollars back. Like, we're not about to do that. So make sure y'all either one, call the bank and ask them how much their currency exchange is. Also make sure y'all check that they provide the currency that you need, because not all banks have all of the currency, so definitely double check that. And KeyBank says theirs is $10. I know it's only $5, but that $5 can be currency for the countries that I'm going to. So now I'm headed to KeyBank to get that exchange, and we're gonna see how fast they process it since I've never exchanged with them. So I placed my currency order, and I'm so excited because I'm just ready to leave the country, y'all. Like, I haven't left the country in a minute, and I'm always anxious to visit new places and just see what all they have to offer. So get my currency order here at KeyBank was really easy. It was a flat $10. They'll take that right out of my account. Obviously, they'll take the money that I'm trying to exchange right out of my account as well. So I wanted to exchange $100 US per currency. However, I found out that it's like not the whole $100, and it's only not the whole $100 because it's like they want to give you a even number for the currency that you're receiving, because you can't get coins back. So instead of $100, I actually exchanged $99.04, and I received 14,000 back in yen. So one of them I exchanged $97.38, and then the other one was $99.75. It's not a full $100, but it's pretty close. So I'm fine with that. I just like to have actual cash on hand when I'm in a particular country for a couple days, whether I need to tip or pay for my food or buy souvenirs, but not too many souvenirs because your girl don't really do the whole souvenir thing. I'll buy for myself and maybe a few other people, but I don't be having time to be looking for souvenirs. I ain't even gonna hold y'all, and I'm not buying them in the airport because those be just so expensive. So that's that. But the order is placed. Today is Friday. She said they should call me by Tuesday So about 2 to 3 business days, she said. So I look forward to my call, and I look forward to getting my currency and catching that flight, y'all. So my money have arrived, and it actually only took 1 business day. So as y'all saw, I placed my order on Friday, and they called me on Monday telling me that it was in. So I'm so excited because that means the adventure is very, very close. And I get to enjoy these beautiful countries. So I'm going to show you the money here. So this is the money that I will be using in the Philippines. This is my pesos. And then I have my baht here. And then this is the money that I'll be using in Thailand. And then I have my yen. And this is the money that I will be using in Japan. So I'm just so excited to take on this adventure. And right now I am starting to plan out all of my activities. I prefer to have everything booked and paid for prior to traveling, just so when I arrive, I can just show up and enjoy. And it's like, I don't have to spend any money. And I feel really happy about that. Where sometimes I have to pay for things on the spot. Obviously, you have to pay for like food and stuff like that. But if I can do everything in advance, I'd rather do that just so I can enjoy and relax on my vacation. So I might show you all a little bit of that planning process. I'm not quite sure yet. We'll see how it plans out. But it did take me some work to get my flights down pat. So I might give you a glimpse into that, because to do everything in such a short time frame can be quite difficult. But me being the planner that I am and loving traveling, I made sure that I made it happen. So I might show y'all some of that. Definitely show you how I got my flight down to where I wanted it to be. And then right now I'm, like I said, looking for those activities and what I can book in advance. I already booked my hotels, flights and stuff is booked. And I do need to still get transportation. So I'll, show a little bit of that, because sometimes I know it can be not the most exciting part of the trip, the planning stages, but for me, it is. Like, I enjoy just seeing how everything comes together. So I will catch up with y'all soon. I will let y'all know what I've planned, what I was able to book in advance, and what I have to pay for there. So this is going to be like your pre-trip planning. And then obviously I'm taking y'all on the adventure when it's time to catch that flight. It is time to pack you all, and I'm so excited. I leave in 4 days. So I expressed to you all before that I wanted to share a little bit about how I got my tickets and what my travel looked like, because it is a little bit intense. I'm not even going to lie, because I wanted to make sure that I was able to see as much as I can see while I was on that side of the world, right? And I told my friend, like, say less, I'll show up. How much we thinking this ticket is gonna run me, because y'all know your girl is frugal. And I don't just be wanting to spend a ton of money on one plane ticket. Like, y'all know, I be having a nice little budget. So when I first checked these plane tickets, you all, I'm gonna put the screen grabs and stuff up here on the screen, because I am technically packing and I'm not looking at numbers exactly at this moment, but I can give you some like roundabouts. When I checked the first day and it was at like 2,500, I was like, Lord, I sent my friend a screenshot, like, who about to pay for this? Like, where are we going? Like, this better be an amazing wedding, right? So I said, how much is the ticket coming out of New York? Because they're in the New York, New Jersey area, and those airports in particular are a lot larger than the Cleveland Hopkins Airport. And so I wanted to see on average what those prices like, because he has been over there before. So I just wanted to pick his brain and see what the price tags kind of start at. And he was like, sometimes they're closer to like the $1,600, $1,800. So I was like, that's definitely better than $2,500. So I'm gonna keep watching the prices. So what I did was I put tracking on flights leaving out of JFK and Newark to go over to the Philippines. That way I can watch those prices. And then the other thing I did was look to see what other airports traveled over to the Philippines. And so what I came across is the Boracay, I think I'm saying that right. The Boracay airport is a small airport because it's a small island. So it's easier to fly into Manila and then catch a flight from Manila to Boracay. So once I figured that out, y'all, then I start putting all of my tracking on flights from Cleveland to Manila, JFK to Manila, and then there was also some flights leaving out of Cali that was going over there. So I legit had multiple trackings going on. That way I can see where the cheapest flight was going to be going out of. And then if it was going to be leaving out of JFK or LAX, then I would just see how much my flight would cost me to get from Cleveland to LAX or JFK. So I literally had a ton of tracking. And some people are like, but girl, just buy the one round trip ticket. But if I can get a ticket out of JFK, for instance, for let's say $1,200, $1,300, and I can get a round trip ticket from Cleveland to JFK for $200, I'm winning. So it's definitely better. And you just have to make sure that your times allow for those connecting flights. So me being the traveler that I am, that part is, I'm not going to say easy, but I know how to maneuver through the airports and we can make it happen most of the time. So that's what I did. So I had a ton of tracking and I ended up catching a Delta flight for like $2,300. I caught it at $2,300 and that was from here being Cleveland to Manila. Now, you say, I thought you didn't want to spend that much. This is very much true. However, I was watching a flight for probably like 2 to 3 weeks and the prices was just increasing. And I was like, ugh, this is a little rough because I'm definitely not trying to spend more than this. I didn't even want to spend that in itself. So for me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to buy it and we are just going to make sure we get the refundable ticket, because if I get the refundable ticket and I find something cheaper, then I can just cancel my ticket, right? So when I tell y'all, I bought this Delta flight for the I think it was like $2,300. I will make sure that I put my screen grabs up here so y'all can see my full prices and all the breakdowns and like when I was buying these tickets. So bought that ticket, and because I did not want to spend that type of money, when I tell y'all, I was watching this particular Delta flight like on the hour. You hear me? On the hour, I was watching this flight because I did not want to spend this money. So the first time I caught it cheaper, it was only like $50 to $60 or something cheaper. And so that's still a savings. So I said, let's go ahead and call up Delta and see what we can make happen here. So I called them. They was like, all right, we can give you a credit for the $50. And I was like, all right, I'll take the credit since it's only $50 versus canceling my whole flight and then rebooking for $50 less because I know I'm going to fly Delta again. That is my preferred airline. So the $50 credit could definitely be used elsewhere. So I'm like, cool, say less. So did that. And then I watched it some more because $50 was still not enough to get me out of that $2,000 bracket for a plane ticket. Then it came down again. My goofy stuff ended up having a customer service agent cancel it because she was like, if I cancel this, or if I rebook the ticket for you, it's just going to rebook and you're going to have to pay a fee and it's still going to be more expensive than what you send on the internet. I was like, well, that's crazy. So how about you just go ahead and cancel it and then I'll go ahead and rebook it myself. Now I'm in like the, I think $1,600, $1,700 area, and I was ecstatic, y'all. Like, your girl was happy. So we continued to bring that price tag down, and every time I caught the flight, I would either call Delta or, you know, they have the feature where you can just text them or whatever and make it happen. So that's what I was doing. But on this time, it was like $200 less, I think. And I was able to just cancel my ticket and completely rebook so I can get that full credit back. And I know this sounds like a lot, y'all. Don't get me wrong. It definitely sounds like a lot to do. But because I was not happy with the price tag I paid, because I did not want to spend $2,000 on a plane ticket, and I wanted to be in that $1,600, $1,700 bracket, I was watching this flight so hard. And this flight in particular was not on my Google Travel or on my Hopper app, because sometimes airlines themselves have their own particular flight schedules that they do not publish to third parties. So as I track Google Travel, Hopper, I also will track down the airlines directly. So this airline, or this particular flight schedule, was only published on Delta.com. So I was tracking this flight, y'all. So I got my little money back and I rebooked my flight, and then it came down again. However, since I was in the midst of being on the phone talking to customer service and trying to make sure I get my ticket before like things change, my goofy self picked the wrong date. I was hot with myself, obviously. So I had to cancel that one. Or actually, I take that back. I didn't have to cancel that one because it was within a 24-hour span. So when I called Delta back, I'm sure they was tired of hearing my voice. But after I called them back, they was able to just change the particular date that I was departing and returning and give me the price tag that I seen on the internet. And that worked out well, because if you are not familiar, you can cancel any flight within 24 hours of you purchasing it with no cancellation fee or anything like that. So if you ever have an issue or you need to cancel a flight, once you book it, from that time you have 24 hours to cancel with no questions asked across all airlines. After that 24 hours, you got some other stuff you need to read on these company websites to see if you can get your money back or whatever that may look like for you. So needless to say, I did get my ticket down into that like $1,600 bracket, and this flight is from Cleveland to Manila. So I did have to purchase a ticket from Manila to Boracay, and that ticket was only like $100. So I was pretty good there and really happy with that price plan, and it kept me out of the $2,000 mark. So after I did that, I know I'm supposed to be packing, but it's so difficult to pack and then talk and da 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 da. So please forgive me. So after I did that, I was set, right? And then calling my friends, talking to them, seeing what like the plans is gonna look like for the weekend with the wedding and everything, because I didn't want to book excursions and stuff like that if they have things planned. So I'm talking to them and they're like, oh, we're gonna do some island hopping or whatever. And I'm like, all right, what islands are y'all going to? Share details and I'll see if I can, make that happen. So this is how I get to explore the additional countries, because I was going to island hop with them, but the flights that they were on was sold out. So I was like, well, y'all can have fun with that, and I'm just gonna catch me a flight over to Bangkok. So after the wedding, which is on Saturday, I'm gonna head out on Sunday the 5th, and I'm gonna head over to Bangkok, Thailand, spend a couple days there. Then I'm gonna come back to the Philippines and pick my returning flight back up. So I was obviously originally supposed to leave from the Philippines on January 7th. Yes, I was supposed to leave on January 7th. But since they were going to be leaving out of the Philippines or doing an island hopping experience, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. And I don't want to do anything with my Delta flight, because I was happy with that whole transaction and what my flight schedule looked like. So I just booked a brand new ticket to get from the Philippines to Bangkok, Thailand. So I'll put those up here on the screen. These price tags wasn't too bad for me, especially since I was already in the area. I think they might have cost me like $200 or something. But once again, everything will be on the screen, because I'm just speaking off the dome right now. So I don't have the exact numbers for you. But I did just book a brand new ticket to get me back over to the mainland, to leave from Manila to get to Bangkok. And then I have a ticket coming back from Bangkok to the Philippines on January 7th. And then January 7th, I'm going from the Philippines to Tokyo, Japan. So once I get there, I literally have this was a long layover, I should say, because I landed like midnight and then I don't leave until 4:30 or so on January 8th. So I'll get to spend the whole day or half a day more so in Tokyo and explore that. So your girl is moving. Like, we have a lot going on. In the Tokyo flight, I didn't have to pay like anything additional because it was already a part of my round trip ticket from Cleveland to the Philippines back to Cleveland. That was my layover. So I didn't have to pay anything separate for that. I just had to pay the separate ticket for my Bangkok flight. And then with that, there were particular flight schedules that I wanted to make sure I got the most of my time there. So I ended up buying 2 separate airline tickets. So I bought one ways. So I bought one way there, and I'll put up on the screen which airlines I'm using. And then I use points with Capital One to book one of my other one ways. So I didn't have to necessarily pay for that ticket either. So I've been like using all my resources to make sure I can make this happen and stay in a decent budget. And I'm very proud of what I was able to create. I got 3 different hotels, one in the Philippines, one in Bangkok, and one inside of Tokyo. So your girl got a lot going on. This is going to be a fast moving trip. So I definitely want y'all to stay tuned and enjoy this with me, because I'm about to have some fun. That's the goal. I haven't booked my excursions yet. I know we kind of lacking on that. I do have some excursions in mind for Bangkok. At the moment, I'm thinking I'm just going to get me a driver to take me around to the different places, because I don't have a lot of time there. So I want to see as much as possible. So I did reach out to the concierge, and they sent me over some sample plans of like what I can do in the country. So I'm debating on what pieces and parts I want to do. And then, like I said, they offered well, not necessarily offer because I still have to pay for it, but they did provide a private driver that I can do that will take me to these different places. So at the moment, that is the goal. For Tokyo, I'm thinking of doing a hop on, hop off bus, but we'll see how that goes once I actually touch down in the area, because I haven't spoken to Tokyo's concierge yet, but that is on the list between now and me arriving. And then what else I gotta do? I think that's it. Y'all know I got my money. I showed y'all that. So we are about to pack everything up. We have, like I said, the suitcase. Of course, you already know we are using the travel cubes. And oh, one other thing I wanted to mention. Delta does allow me to have a free check bag, obviously get your carry-on and your personal item. In one of my legs of my flights, I'm flying on Korean Air. So their specifications are a little bit different than Delta, even though they're partnered with Delta. They have a 22-pound carry-on weight limit, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna double check my email. And I'll even show y'all a glimpse of that. But because I am traveling on airlines that I have never flown on, I am reading all of the details when it comes to my baggage, because I do not want to be in a situation where I am out of the country and we're going back and forth at the gate talking about weight requirements and stuff like that. So because I do not want to get myself in any type of bind, I did pay for checked luggage on my flight from Manila to Boracay, which is the Philippines, because I didn't want to run into any situations. And then, like I said, Delta sent me an email expressing that Korean Air had a bag limit when it came to their carry-on bags. So make sure that y'all read these emails so y'all do not run into any issues when traveling internationally, because internationally they do have different restrictions and bag policies than we have here in the States. So make sure y'all are aware of those. And I feel like there was something else I wanted to share. Bags, make sure y'all get y'all money. Oh, I was going to check my luggage, right? Because I had a free check bag and I was just going to just let everything go. But because the way my schedule is set up, I did not want to be back and forth out of security. And what I mean by that is when I land in the Philippines, I have to catch my second flight over to Boracay, and I'm on a different airline. So if I would have checked my luggage with Delta, by the time I landed, I would have had to go retrieve my checked luggage, go back through security, go back through what is that called? Passport control, immigration. Like I would have had to do all of those steps all over again. So my goal is to fit everything in my carry-on bag so I do not have to do that. Because if I do, that is going to kill so much time, and I would probably be backed up against my flight time, and your girl cannot afford to miss a single flight. So the goal is to have everything in my carry-on bag and my personal item, because I don't have time to exit out of the airport, go retrieve my luggage, go check my luggage back in, and then go back through TSA, passport control, immigration. Like, we don't have time for all of that. So if you are going to purchase multiple tickets on different airlines, make sure you pack light so you don't have to worry about going to go retrieve your checked luggage and then getting that checked back in, because you will have to do that if you are changing airlines and your ticket is not combined. So make sure you do that. Like I told you, I'm flying Delta, and I also will be flying Korean Air. So with that, those bags will have transfer if I was checking luggage, because it was all on one ticket. But because that second half of my trip is not together, I didn't purchase it together or anything like that, they wouldn't have transferred your girl bag. I would have had to go retrieve my bag and then get it checked back in. So we're not doing that. So I want to make sure that my bag is light as possible. And hence, I don't have that many clothes here on the back of the couch because I need everything to fit. And I need it to be underweight, and I'm going to try to keep it at this 22 pounds. I will say if it is too heavy, at least with my Manila to Boracay flight, like I said, I already paid for the check bag there. And if I need to go check it, I do have time. I just don't want to play with that type of time. So since I couldn't really pack and talk to y'all, I'm about to pack. And I would check in probably when I get to the airport. As always, gorgeous people, go out there, create memories that will last a lifetime.